What's up again there, guys? Brian here, 3 Topics Gamer, here to give you another episode of my weekly Q&A show to help people's questions, where I answer a series of questions that have been sent to you over the past week. Gotta be honest, I really didn't get anything very interesting in terms of questions this time around. I was able to answer most of them. However, there did seem to be a major focus of Star Wars questions, which I was a little bit puzzled about. But I did manage to come up with at least 4 of them that I think are at least, they're okay, I guess. So, starting off with the first question, I'm from Phantom Sidious, and you want to know, in your opinion, what is the... Okay, this one's just weird, odd. In my opinion, what is the future of AAA games, since they are so incredibly expensive to make and take a lot longer to develop now? There's not much. There's not much to say about the future. I mean, yeah, of course they're gonna be a little bit more complicated, and they're gonna take time. Of course, I mean, technology gets improved upon, but the problem is that if you do it right, trust me, the studios can, trust me. If you do a AAA title well, and it gets an overwhelming response, you will make back more than what it costs to make the game very, very quickly. And that's usually how most of these games that don't flop work. They generally make their money back very, very quickly. I mean, when you throw in all the collector's editions and special editions and all the collecting merchandise, I mean, trust me, it's very, very easy, especially for our popular franchise, to make the money back despite the fact you spent 2, 3, 4 years working on a title. So I don't really think, I don't see much of a change of them doing anything other than what they've been doing over the past 2, 3 generations of gaming. I mean, sure, it's just gonna take a little bit longer, but heck, people are willing to wait as long as it takes, as long as the game is great. That's all they care about. If it takes 5, 6, 7, 10 years to make the game, people will wait as long as it pays off. And for many titles for this past generation, that has been the case. Will Williams had probably a odd question, and you want to know, how do I feel about vlogging, and do I think doing that would attract more people to my channel? You know, I actually had to look up several videos of exactly what vlogging is, and I'm like, that would not be a good idea. You guys do not want me to carry technically I do carry a camera on me all the time because I got my phone, which is technically it's actually more expensive than the camera I'm using right now. But you do not want a day-by-day me talking about my life. You guys do not want that. If I were to do something like it, literally would be me talking about how depressing and how badly I want to commit suicide at least one time every week for the past 10 years. If I eventually end up killing myself for whatever reason, and someone happens to run across this right here, which basically is a set of journals that I've been writing for almost the past 10 years. I currently have my 5th volume on my backpack, and this is my 1st volume, and it dates all the way back to February 9th, 2010. And if someone were to go through these journals, I think all they would see is someone that had been very, very sad for a very, very long time, who had been through just a series of terrible events, one after the other, and had done everything he could to try to get out of the situation he was in, and had wanted to kill himself so many times if it weren't for someone talking him down every once in a while. And just when he thought things were getting good, or when he had made a new friend, they would just leave him with no explanation, and then he would just continue to get worse and worse and worse as every year went by. It would literally be me talking like that every single day. I mean, my life is so copy and paste day to day that you literally could set your watch. And know exactly what I was doing at that exact moment. I mean, I don't have anyone here in Vegas to talk to and socialize with most times. I don't go out. I think, believe it or not, the first time I ever had a happy moment here in Vegas was literally this past, I want to say, May, when I got to have dinner with 2 friends that I hardly ever get to see, And that was literally the first happy moment I had experienced here in Vegas in a decade. And I mean, it was just so refreshing. And like, I just hate this place so badly, and would be willing to do anything to get out. But heck, life gets in the way. So I, constantly think, if this is what the next 10 years is gonna be for me, why bother living? I mean, I sometimes feel trapped. But I mean, would you really want a daily vlog of that? I mean, even if it started getting attention, you would literally have people in the comment section saying, if you talk about suicide so much, why don't you just do it? And then I think eventually he would get to me, and then people would be like, well, that guy was an idiot. It's like, well, if he was a stronger person, he wouldn't have done it. I mean, he's been talking about killing himself for the past 10 years. Why not do it already? I mean, you're opening the floodgates. I mean, I've seen 3 different psychiatrists over the past 10 years. I might be thinking about seeing a 4th one. I mean, trust me. Vlogging, I think, would be best suited for people who have interesting lives, and my life is not like that. It is a very, very depressing, sad life that has hardly changed over the past 10 years. Trust me, you guys do not want me to be talking about that every single day, because I don't really do anything. There's nobody to do anything with. That is the problem with my life, and that's why I've hated this city for so long. Like, literally, if I got a call tomorrow morning with someone offering me a job anywhere but here, I would literally stop everything I do. I would quit my job, I would pack up on myself, and as long as they could help me get to that place and find a place so I could start working there, I'd do it in a heartbeat without hesitating. Like, you have no idea how much I hate this place. I sometimes feel like a prison. I mean, but heck, trust me, that's pretty much a small taste of what you would get if I were to be vlogging every day. So no, I've never, once I found out exactly what vlogging was, I was like, trust me, you guys would not want that. Next question comes from the Batman of Neo Gotham. And you want to know, how do I think Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and the rest of the Jedi Council on Coruscant will react to a kaiju attack from King Ghidorah? That's not an issue. Okay, I mean, alright, so we have a gigantic okay, well, it depends on when this is happening. So we have a gigantic monster that's attacking a city. Okay. Well, if this is during the Clone Wars, easy. You just bring a bunch of Republic capital ships, put them in low orbit, bombard the bastard, he's dead. Or, if we want to do it from the ground, basically you take like the 10 most powerful Jedi, you have them combine their powers, perform a force grip on Ghidorah, and throw his ass into space. I mean, Yoda is so powerful that he can move several CIS landing crafts and have them crash into each other. And that's just him. Imagine taking the entire Jedi Council. Just imagine what they could do. They probably could move the Death Star if they want to combine all their powers. So, I mean, I don't think it'd be really all that big of an issue to deal with, if you ask me. And the last question of the episode, I swear I still can't pronounce your first name, so I'm just gonna call you Red up there, and there's your full name. But you want to know, what kind of Star Wars story deserves a video game? I don't know. I don't know what story deserves a video game. I think everything's been told. I mean, what story does not have a video game? I mean, you've got games talking about the Old Republic, you've got things talking about the Clone Wars, you've got games talking about the Galactic Civil War. You would think that you have video games that take place after Return of the Jedi that connect to the EU. You've got games that take place in between different movies. You have games that are centered around different books. You've got side games that are just like out there. I'm like, what story in Star Wars has not been told? I mean, they've even got stories involving this new stupid sequel Star Wars Disney crap. They've got games for that. Like, what story in Star Wars, in one sense or the other, does not have a video game? I mean, someone said, well, why don't you do some of the EU books from the old days? Well, how the hell do you make a video game around Darth Plagueis? How the hell do you make a video game around Darth Bane? How do you make a video game around someone like Darth Krayt? I mean, there's some stories that just don't fit in a video game format. I mean, and so that's kind of hard. I really don't know. I think the best ideas that have at least the pieces you would need to make a video game have been done. Or basically, because I think moving forward, I mean, when they put it like this, when was the last time we had a video game where you could not play as a Jedi? And some would say, well, maybe Battlefront 2. Well, no, you can play as a Jedi in that game. Like, literally give me a game where you don't play as a Jedi. I think the last one I could think is maybe Republic Commando, which only came out on the Xbox, which or the PC, which I'm really upset by, because I really would want to play that game on PlayStation. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think everything's been done at this point. I think at this point, moving forward, people just could be making up more Jedi-focused games, and I think that's what people want. I think that's what people are gonna get. So with that pretty much ends all the questions that or pretty much the majority of questions that I think I could answer in the video. I did answer a good number of them in the comment section of the last video. But if I could ask you guys a question, let's see, what would I ask? Well, since I got like a lot of Star Wars. Okay, here's one. Who's your favorite Star Wars character, and tell me why? So, yeah, that's my question for you guys. Who's your favorite Star Wars character, and tell me why? And if you guys have any other questions you'd like me to answer in next week's episode, sure type them in the comments down below. But you know, make sure you get them into me roughly before next Wednesday, before I start filming the next episode. You know how things work. And like always, I want to thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.